morning, ladies and gents of the USA. Good morning, my brubs and doves. My name is Tyler Storm, and I would like to welcome you to the 8th episode of StormWatch. I would like to just celebrate our friends from across the pond, hence my get-up, hence the crown, hence the teeth, hence the cape, if you have not noticed, hence the Emily Bronte novel, hence the gin, as you can see, hence the pre-Ghislaine of Harold. Beautiful, beautiful, hence the beans on the toast, yes. Scrumdiddlyumptious, if I do say so myself. No. Today's episode will be dedicated ever so slightly to our friends across the pond, which is why we have taken such measures to make them feel respected and welcome and understood here in our homeland of the USA. It is why I'm wearing this is why the watch of the week is what it is. It is the Studio Underdog Watermelon, a British watch brand, a British micro brand. This watch was released one time about 2 years ago, I do believe so, and then they sold out almost immediately. They do those almost every single time, as they only do limited releases. And when you do limited releases and certain things like this, as they do, they sell out right away. But I got this on the second generation, of course, with the updated movement, of course. And on today, we are seeing it on the black leather strap. And it is beautiful. It's a chronograph. Yes, this means for you simpletons at home, it is a timer. It is a timer for you to time important daily things that you may have going on about, like meetings, or taking dabs, or timing an elevator, or timing to see how long you have to nut before you have to drop the hooker back off at Epstein's. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know. It's just it's a beautiful watch. I bought it about a year ago. It's worked for me perfectly ever since. It's a manual, it's not an automatic, which means you have to wind it virtually daily, as it does have about a 36-hour power reserve. Not bad, especially when using the chronograph. I like it, wear up, wear down, and because it also came with a mesh steel bracelet. And if I do say so myself, it is quite posh. And I like wearing it around the town. I have these sneakers, after all. I am a sneaker collector and sneaker reseller as well, and they are called the Watermelons. You had to stay on theme, you know what I mean? We do have some fun around here. Hold on, my teeth. I'm sorry. I just went to the dentist, and he did wonderful work. Of course, he did wonderful work, but I can't help but feel as though the teeth are rearranging themselves as I speak. It's disgusting. These watches are assembled in Great Britain. If you can get one, get one. They're a little expensive at the moment, if I do say so, but I think that happens when all brands take off. I mean, as things become more capitalized and invested in and all of these other things, sometimes they get cheaper as people like to, actually make things to the general public for them to have access to, and other people just like to line their pockets and do limited release after limited release after limited release. So get it if you can afford it, but if not, then you are not missing out too much, if I do say so myself. If you have the money, you have the money. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Do you know what I mean? It's beautiful. Okay. I can't keep doing that. Holy fuck, man. Those teeth are fucking terrible. I'll tell you what, when I first put those in earlier, it tasted like liquid Orbeez had just gelled across my teeth. I had to go rinse that shit out because it was just fucking disgusting. But they got me this far, and I think that's fantastic, if I do say so myself. Scrumdiddlyumptious. No. Now, getting away from our friends across the pond for this very moment and coming back home to Titusville. School zone cameras coming to Titusville beginning February 25th. Good fucking Lord have me mercy. I am retarded today. I take the teeth out for 5 seconds and all of a sudden I become an illiterate. God. School zone cameras coming to Titusville beginning February 25th. 60-day warning period once each phase becomes active. You know what's beautiful about this? The fact that we have potholes littered all throughout the town that can swallow up fucking truck tires, and we have graffiti everywhere. We have trash littered all over the side of 405, US 150, all of these different fucking intersections that come through Titusville. But we can afford cameras for speeders in the fucking school zones. I love that speeding is the thing they tackle. I said this fucking last week, and I'm going to say it again. It astounds me how much they are so focused on the speeding. We have a million things going on here in Brevard, and I'm going to fucking hop through a bunch of them here today because we have a lot of stuff to get through, and that bit took up a lot longer than I expected it to, but, you know, it was fantastic. I loved playing a limey, if I do say so myself. Hello. Hello to those in Great Britain. We welcome you to StormWatch. Brevard County, Florida, the Titusville Police Department is launching an automated school zone speed enforcement program and beginning a public information campaign to educate residents ahead of its implementation. Really what they're trying to do is just do more to police everybody because they're going to start doing this on all the back roads, I guarantee it. They're going to start doing it off of 46. They're going to start doing it off of Turpentine eventually. They're going to start doing it off of fucking Carpenter. For those of you who don't know, those are local streets that run through sections of Mims and Titusville. And we have a lot of school zones. We have a lot of church zones. And I think at some point they're going to start deeming it dangerous to drive through church areas. And then you're going to start having to slow down through that stuff because as you can see the direction of this country going, church and state are not separate as much as you would have assumed them to be anymore. And so with that being said, I imagine soon this might spread a little further, and it might go a little bit further than just monitoring for when school zones are being passed through. Like, really think about it. If somebody is trying to evade the law at any level, and even if the school is not in and it's the weekend and stuff like that, they can just run those cameras 24/7 to monitor whatever's going on. So even if you're not evading the law, stuff like that, they're going to be seeing exactly what you're doing. I know a lot of you walk through this town. I know a lot of you drive through those areas, so just be careful. This is my warning to you degenerate friends that I have, because for some reason, they seem to think that people speeding through the area is the problem. When I've seen in the last year, I think there was about 3 major accidents in Titusville area, and 2 of them were caused by police chases. Actually, all 3 of them were caused by police chases. There was one that went into, I think it was Mockingbird. There was one on Christmas that I told you guys about, and again, police chases. So there's been a lot of car accidents lately. I'm surprised I didn't cover that this episode because I just saw a video even of this dude who slid under the back of a fucking school bus. It was fucking crazy. No one died, not even the guy who went under the back of a fucking school bus. That's nuts. The department announced the program will roll out in 3 phases with installation and activation occurring at different times. Phase 1 is scheduled to go live on February 25th, 2026. Go live dates for Phase 2 and Phase 3 have yet to be determined. Under the program, drivers who exceed the posted school zone speed limit by 11 miles per hour or more will receive a notice of violation. They're just going to start mailing it to you, by the way. They're not even going to send officers to your door. They're just going to start mailing you your tickets, and if you don't look at your mail and you don't pay that shit within the allotted time, guess what? They're coming to get your ass. And you can dispute it, you can do all this, that, or the other, but guess what? It's a camera you're arguing with. It's not another person whose words you have to go against. It's a camera. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose the machine and the camera. And I just as my warning to y'all, not that I'm a paranoid person or anything, or not that I've ever had to evade the law at any level, or try to consider these things or the ramifications of what this could mean for people, but
However, officials emphasize there will be a 60-day warning period once each phase becomes active. Titusville school zone speed camera locations. Here, hold on. They gave us locations. Apollo Elementary, Coquina Elementary, Andrew Jackson Middle School, St. Teresa Catholic School, Park Avenue Christian Academy. That's where I went when I was a kid, for all you losers. Titusville High School. I love that they didn't put anything at Astronaut High School. Here, hold on. Maybe they do. Maybe the list continues. No, phase 2. Not even in phase 2 or 3. Astronaut gets nothing. When I was in high school, we had a fucking bomb threat. We had multiple bomb threats and a school shooting threat when I was in high school. This was at the start of the craze, the trend, as you could call it, when kids thought it was cool to, when they started thinking it was cool to do bomb threats and school shooting threats. I remember back in the good old days when kids would just show up and do that shit. Like Columbine. You know what I mean? Why are our school shooters always so dramatic now? Why can't they just be like CIA serial killers like how they used to be? I mean, probably because they're not being trained. They're more being groomed by the CIA, but whatever. Nothing? St. Teresa, Park Avenue, THS. Wow. I'm actually a little bit shocked. Are you kidding me? I've seen people rip through the fucking astronaut parking lot and War Eagle Boulevard. Not that allegedly. I allegedly have seen these things. Titusville doesn't have people that speed like that. Titusville is known for people who respect the speed limit and the laws. Titusville is a town of people who are known for respecting life and love and liberty and freedoms and basic human decency. Brevard has always, especially Titusville, has always been known for its salt of the earth, upstanding citizen. We're basically a jar of salt with how good our people are. During that time, violators will receive warnings instead of citations. After the 60-day period, violations will result in formal citations. The automated enforcement system will operate within 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after the start of regulated schools. Yeah, whatever. It's not going to be during regular school sessions. I'm telling you that now. They're going to start doing it at random times. And what they're going to do is, because they already post up at the schools, what they're going to do is they're going to start saying that they need to implement them recording all the time, because it seems as though people are still speeding regularly around the town and all this other stuff. And so they're going to start saying, okay, it's going to be Wayne Ivey or some fucking cocksucker who's going to be like, hey, we need to keep these fucking cameras running 24/7 because people are speeding and they're not going to stop speeding and all these other fucking things. And hibbity. And then it's just going to become monitoring 24/7. And once they start doing that, the cops are going to stop posting up at the schools and the churches, and they're going to start posting up at more regular play. They already post up outside of the Irish pub and all of our other local hotspots waiting for drunk people to drive away. So what that allows them to do even further is the people who are already there, the cameras can be running 24/7 on the churches and the schools, and then the cops are just going to be posted up at either gas stations or back roads, so that way whenever you take the back roads here around Titusville, they'll be already there posted up for you. Not that I would know anything or assume anything like that they would do this, that our cops would have such malevolent intent or anything like that. What would I know? The Titusville Police Department said it has constantly taken proactive steps, both through its in-person enforcement and technological measures, to enhance safety in school zones, traffic awareness. Leaders expressed... You know what? I think this is a beautiful thing, because if it does anything, it shows our friends across the pond that truly we are salt of the earth people here in Titusville. Titusville is nothing more than good-willed and good-intending folks, if you know what I mean. Do you have any clue what I am speaking to you at this moment? We are salt. We are of the earth. Salt, my friends. Salt. Brevard people are of a higher echelon. They are of the upper class. They are willing to try things. They're willing to try things like beans on toast. That's actually not that bad. I let the toast sit for a little too long. That was fucking good. That was fucking good. And you know what? In honor of our friends across the pond, while we're at it, we're going to wash that down with a little bit of gin. A little bit of broker's gin. Some good old English gin. I don't know why I'm doing the country accent with it, but... Oh, well... There we go. There we go. Fantastic. What beautiful things. YouTube, do not demonetize this episode. Do as you're going to do. I cannot stop you, but whatever. So, long live Prince Andrew! That was surprisingly good, but oh man. I don't ever do shots of gin. I actually can't tell you the last time I had gin. I got this for this episode in honor of my good friends across the pond. Holy shit though. Woof. Woof. But you know what? Prince Andrew's a good guy. He was worth doing a shot for. I've never heard anything bad about him. I've never heard of him harming women. I've never heard of him misusing his position. I've never heard of him, I don't know, participating in anything that might be considered occult or demonic or murderous. I don't know. He's a good guy, just kind of like people here in Titusville. Prince Andrew is a man that reminds me of people in Titusville. And do you know why? Because he's a good person. I can look him in the eyes and tell you he's a good person, just like people here. Just like people here in Brevard. Merritt Island man sentenced to 30 years for lewd battery involving 15-year-old girl. Well, See, Prince Andrew would relate to this. Not with the 15-year-old girl thing. I wouldn't know anything about that, allegedly. But, see? Just salt of the earth people. Prince Andrew, salt of the earth. This man, salt of the earth. A 37-year-old man will spend the next 3 decades in prison after a jury convicted him of lewd and lascivious battery involving a 15-year-old Merritt Island girl, according to the court documents. Well, that's a little young for my taste, but clearly not for his. His appetites run a little more raw, if you will. He likes them raw and wriggling. I prefer consenting and of age. But, to each their own. Who are we to dispute love? Who are we to argue with the finer things that life has presented us? Brevard County, Merritt Island, Florida, a 37-year-old man... Okay. Tavares D. Holmes was found guilty in November following a trial in which Assistant State Attorney Sarah Flanagan and Rebecca Price presented evidence that he engaged in a sexual... Excuse me. Holy shit, that gin's fighting me, baby. I'll start that again, because that was rude of me. That was disgusting. Tavares D. Holmes was found guilty in November following a trial in which Assistant State Attorney Sarah Flanagan and Rebecca Price presented evidence that he engaged in a sexual relationship with a teenager in 2022, shortly after his release from prison. The girl later became pregnant. Whoa! Was it a love child? Would you say it was a love child? How do we know that she didn't want this? This could have been entrapment. I know so many fucking women in this town who got pregnant just so they could lock a guy down and entrap him. I know women who at the age of 18 were going on dates with 40-year-old men just so they could get fucking yacht rides. So they could take selfies on a boat. That is such a that is so much more common than you think. It's like raining. Do you get what I mean? I guarantee you right this very second, I'm not even gonna place a bet because I know how certain I am there is a woman who is on her back or bent over or something on a yacht right now in the Caribbean or off the coast of California or whatever the fuck, because she wants this 50-year-old dude's money and a little bit of fucking Instagram clout. You know what I mean? Once she gets a good enough following and she's a fucking, what do you call him, influencer, she's going to leave the old dude and she's going to go get with some poor dumb young Christian guy who just thought she was the most swell thing on the fucking planet. Golly fucking gee. And then he's dating a porn star. Then he's dating fucking Adriana Chechik, and you're just like looking at him like, my poor brother in Christ. My poor brother. You need help, my friend. You need help. Prosecutors introduced a recorded phone call between Holmes and the victim's mother, during which Holmes acknowledged that he was the father of the child. You are the father. The call was part of the controlled investigation conducted by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office after the teen's parents reported the relationship and pregnancy in October 2022. Big mouth. During the monitored call, Holmes admitted that he had sex with the girl once and stated he should have been a better person and maybe asked for her age. He didn't say that, but I think he definitely should have. When asked whether he intended to help care for the baby, he responded, "If I'm out of jail, of course." You know what? Fucking free this man. Free Tavares. Are you fucking with me? Free my nigga Tavares. Let him be a good daddy. Yeah, he wasn't good to like the general public and he was a risk to teenage women, but god damn it, free him so he can take care of that child. Allow him to show his child what a predator looks like so they can avoid a predator. If you're raised by a predator, doesn't that make you think you understand the fucking methodology and what they're gonna do? Huh? It helps you avoid it. It's like, if your mother smokes crack, hear me out now. If your mother smokes crack, are you not gonna be more likely to find a woman that doesn't smoke crack? Really think about it. Maybe the best thing you can do for his future child is to let him walk free. Now, if he does this again and he's a repeat, then I don't know. You got to start questioning income and all that stuff, and he's got to start submitting forms. I want to see the income before he starts going and impregnating more 15-year-olds, of course, but like, in the second phase of the trial, jurors determined Holmes qualified as a... Jurors determined Holmes qualified as both a prison release reoffender and a habitual felony offender based on his prior criminal history. Those designations allow the court to enhance his sentence from a potential 15-year to 30 years in state prison. Oh, he's not taking care of his kid. He is... You are the dad, but you don't get to be... Oh, wait, no. You are the father, but you don't get to be the dad. How you like them apples? You couldn't go and hit on a senior? You had to go and go for a freshman. Freshman, sophomore? Come on, man. This is freshman stuff. Flanagan urged the court to impose the maximum penalty, telling the judge the case warranted the enhanced sentence. I don't know. Maybe he'll be a good dad. Holmes has extensive criminal record before the recent conviction. He was arrested in 2023 and later sentenced in 2024 to 7 years in prison on charges of trafficking fentanyl, possession of cocaine with intent to sell, and possession of firearm by a convicted felon. He's a working man. Okay, you know what? I have never seen a man who has fentanyl, possession of cocaine, and possession of I've never seen a man with a firearm, fentanyl, and cocaine who is not a working class citizen. I have never seen somebody who gets a 15-year-old pregnant and is caught trafficking cocaine and fentanyl with a firearm and thought to myself, that is a degenerate scumbag. I thought to myself, that is a man who simply happens to be having a bad Wednesday. Hump day, baby. You know what I mean? Like, really, when you think about it, it's about getting over that hump in the week. And instead of humping the 15-year-old this time, life's kind of humping him over. You know what I mean? Court records show he previously served time in Brevard County Jail and in the state prison for offensive including drug possession, making written threats to kill, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, driving while license revoked as a habitual offender, and unlawful use of two-way communication device. You know what? Where there's a will, there's a way, and I respect a fucking man who's willing to go out of his way to make shit like this happen. Free my nigga Tavares. What the fuck is this? Go let him be a dad. Upstanding, salt of the earth citizens here in the fucking USA. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Upstanding citizens. Really, it's just a matter of time before people start coming here and realizing how this salt should be spread open, how this salt should be used, how this salt should be loved, touched, and digested. You know what I mean? Come to Brevard. Come touch our salt. Come eat our salt. Human remains discovered in Palm Bay during missing person investigation, police say. That might need some salt. Especially if you're making jerky. You gotta salt the meat before you turn it into jerky. I hear there's great recipes for it. I heard there was one in teriyaki that was just mwah, to die for. And there was one from our friends across the pond that was bean flavored. It was delectable. Onion and bean flavored. Posh. Posh. Palm Bay, Florida. The Palm Bay Police Department told West 2 on Friday that detectives believe the human remains found this week in a wooded area belonged to a missing person. Detectives recently learned that a person who had not been seen in nearly a year, police said. At this time, the investigation remains active and we are not releasing the name of the missing person as we have yet to make contact with their next of kin. Well, shit, clearly they don't give a fuck. Jesus Christ. You know what? These fucking people are like, yeah, Sam's missing, but oh well. What are you gonna do? Maybe somebody fed him to a gator. Maybe the Amish got to him. Maybe that cannibal who lived down in Palm Beach got to him. Fuck do I know? Maybe that dude who was eating hookers at the fucking, like, I think it was like 2 months ago. He was caught eating hookers. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he got to them. Sergeant Vincent Galliotto said in an email, our detectives believe the human remains are the missing person. However, that is yet to be confirmed. They're waiting on positive identification from the medical examiner's office. Police said this week the missing person investigation led them to 2 separate locations. Palm Bay detectives and the SWAT team executed a search warrant at a residence on Turk Road on February 11th. During the search, George Mansilla, 51, was located at the residence and taken into custody on charges of possession of drug paraphernalia and violation of probation, PBPD said. PBPD. Wonderful services. The drug paraphernalia was located within the residence and during the execution of the search warrant, according to police. You know what's fucking hilarious? They found human remains in his backyard, and they're getting him for the drugs. I like that. If there's one thing I've noted over the last few weeks, especially to you, my friends, is that the police know who to get at the right time. You know what I mean? It wasn't that couple last week. It's not their fault that the baby died. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't anyone's fault that 11-year-old got shot in Mims. Maybe he did it to himself. Do you ever listen to Lil Wayne? He fucking shot himself at 11 years old. Granted, the situation was a bit extensive. Maybe he was 12 years old. The point is, he shot himself. Maybe this fucking 12-year-old, 11-year-old shot himself. Why are we judging everyone? Why are we so quick to throw out blame? Why are we not taking accountability for ourselves here in fucking Florida? Why are we not taking accountability here in Brevard? We are salt of the earth. Accountability should be our second nature. But thank God they got him for the drugs. I mean, yeah, there was dead human parts in his backyard, but thank God they got him for the drugs. Thank God they got him for that. Mansilla faced a judge Friday afternoon from the Brevard County Jail. The judge is keeping him behind bars with no bond for his violation of probation charges. Wow, what a fucking nice judge. What a considerate judge. Not because of the human remains found, but because of the fact that he violated his probation. You know what, dude? You couldn't just wait to, eat a person. You couldn't wait to eat a human. There's now is really not the time to be trying to eat human and all these other things because, I mean, I don't know if you heard, but there's fucking cannibals in the White House. There's fucking cannibals in the, in foreign families. There's cannibals in our businesses. There's tech cannibals. Tech cannibals. The hills have thighs and they're only for eating. In a separate but related development, Palm Bay detectives followed up on another piece of information connected to the same missing person case, which led them to a wooded area on Santo Domingo Avenue. That area is less than 2 miles from Mancilla's home on Turk Row, his backyard. With the assistance of Brevard County sheriffs and their cadaver dogs, detectives located human remains. Hell yeah. You know what? He didn't just eat human, he spared some for nature. And I think that's also awesome because PETA would be grateful for them. He's feeding the local wildlife, he's taking care of everything. It's a wonderful world we live in. It's a wonderful world we live in when cannibals are as considerate as they are. American speed skater Jordan wait, hold on. What? How the fuck did we get into a speed skaters article? Wait, no. No. I hate when they do this shit. They give you one article and then all of a sudden they clip another one onto it at the very fucking end. So you think that you're fucking on to the next page of whatever the case is you're reading. And all of a sudden, instead of reading about cannibals, you're reading about speed skaters who don't have enough condoms during the Winter Olympic Games. By the way, did any of you fucking see that? They don't have enough condoms at the Winter Olympic Games. Do you know how fucking awesome that is? That is how much these fucking people are fucking. They are fucking so much they ran out of condoms. These are the most beautiful people on the fucking earth. They are the most physically fit. They are the most physically adept at whatever the fucking case is that they do. And these motherfuckers ran out of condoms. I think we need a breeding program with them. I heard somebody had a breeding program at a ranch in, I think it was like New Mexico. And I think we should take that up with the Olympic athletes. I think that whenever they're done with their fucking... How long do Olympic athletes last? Is it like a decade, 2 decades? How long does their career last? Whatever. The point is, we'll give the women a decade, we'll give the men 2 decades, and then we'll just breed them. So that way, ding, 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 ding. We're always bringing in new fucking Olympians, and we're always breeding Olympians. So you know what that does? Excuse me. It enhances our gene pool. And not only does it enhance our fucking gene pool, it makes the Olympics better. And not only does it make the Olympics better, it makes fucking people more beautiful. And this is why I think fucking eugenics is awesome. And this is why I think having a lab where you can splice people's DNA to make them more awesomer is awesome. This is awesome. This is eat the people. Not we the people, eat the people. Let them eat each other. Not them let them eat cake. Let us eat them. Wait. Well, whatever. What are you going to do? Am I right? Am I right, people? Sometimes salt of the earth needs to be eaten. Sometimes salt of the earth needs to be aided. It doesn't needs to be aided. Here, hold on. I'm trying to find this. God damn it. Lewd. Humans. There we go. You know, I think that sometimes it's a waste when people go out of their way to kill people and not even consider eating them. You know how upsetting it is? You know how upsetting it is that this man does not get to take care of his daughter because of the fact that whatever, there was something going on with... What the fuck just happened here? He doesn't get to take care of his daughter because the cops are selfish. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to the fact that this man was too selfish to not just rape the woman, but he didn't eat her. This is what happens when you waste fresh meat, raw and wriggling, like Gollum. Fucking eat that shit. Arrgh. Or such. I don't know. It is a waste to me whenever you just go out of your way to violate the salt of the earth and not even eat it. Melbourne man sentenced to 45 years in 2020 restaurant tax office murder and shooting. You see what I mean? It's disgusting. Why would you not eat the people? You're just gonna fill them with lead. Why not fill them with sauce? Or you can do the HW approach and you can fill them with semen and then sauce. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but what I'm saying is that's like something you could do. Brevard County, Florida, a man accused of gunning down a woman outside a Melbourne business and critically wounding her husband in 2020 will spend the next 45 years in prison after entering a plea agreement just minutes before his trial was set to begin. I do want to say to you guys at home, any of you criminals who listen to this, the conviction rate is extremely high in the U.S. 9 times out of 10, they're getting you. And that is the truth. I'm not saying you should enter a plea deal every single time. If you truly do believe you have evidence that proves your innocence, always fucking do it. I'm always in support of somebody who's getting off and getting away from the fucking law. Believe you fucking me. I don't like seeing people sit behind bars. It's not a fun place to be. It's not a fun place to see people in. And it's not a fun thing to see what it does to people who are there long term. But let me tell you what. Just sometimes take the fucking plea deal, buddy. Just sometimes take it. Because imagine if you take this shit to trial. This could have been double. Fucking 90 years. Latavius S. Johnson, 45, pleaded no contest February 9th to second-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder and shooting death of Jamie Wright and wounding of her husband, Theron Wright. In exchange for the plea, Johnson was sentenced to 45 years in state prison, avoiding a potential life sentence. Not a bad deal, I do gotta say. You know what? Fuck them people. Fuck that restaurant and fuck that tax office. Fuck that restaurant and fuck that tax office. I don't know what they did. They probably gave him food poisoning and they probably screwed him out of his tax return. So I say that he was in the right. I don't know what it takes nowadays for people to understand that this is my motherfucking money, bitch. Run that shit, ho. Give me that shit. I want my motherfucking money, nigga. Give me my fucking money, bitch. Run that shit. And such. The agreement with the state attorney's office came more than 5 years after the October 2020 shooting Lizzie at restaurant and 321 tax in South Melbourne, shortly before Johnson was scheduled to stand trial in Vieira on first-degree murder charge. You know what? There was another shooting, and I'm not even going to pull this up. There was another shooting, and it was involving 2 15-year-olds, and I think it was also in Melbourne. And I just want to say, thank fucking goodness this guy actually got somebody, because those teenagers were robbing somebody on Facebook for an iPhone. I just want to warn all of you people who are shopping on Facebook. These 2 motherfuckers were out here robbing somebody for an iPhone at gunpoint. Do you know how psychotic that is? You know how psychotic it is that a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old or a 16-year-old, however fucking old they are, I may pull it up here in a second, are robbing people for iPhones at gunpoint? And not even successfully doing so, might I add. This is what I mean. Our criminals are bad. This one's at least okay. I mean, yeah, he's getting got, but he did get what he was gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like, he get his guy. You know what I'm getting at? All I'm saying. 321 is shortly brought scheduled to stand trial on a first degree. Yeah, if they gave him first degree murder, he would have been fucking. There's a chance that at some point with good behavior he may get whatever. I'm not a fucking lawyer. I'm not even going to sit here and do this. I'm a fucking jokester, not even a proper comedian. The agreement with the state attorney, as part of the deal, with prosecutor Mike Doyle, required Johnson to also plead no contest to 2 felony counts of shooting into a vehicle or building. Those firearm-related convictions carry a mandatory minimum of 25 years before Johnson is eligible for any gain time reductions. Oof. Mr. Johnson is going to prison. He probably won't make it out, given his age. You know what? You ever seen The Shawshank Redemption? He might fucking make it out. Yeah, he'll be like 93 years old when they finally give him approval, but he might make it out. According to investigators, Johnson shot and killed Jamie Wright while she was waiting in a minivan outside the business. He then entered a 321 text where he shot Theron Wright twice as Wright was playing a video arcade game. Nah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. You interrupted the man in his fucking game time. You know what? I do gotta say, at least if you're gonna go out, let it be while you're doing something you love. Let it be while you're playing a game, while you're nutting, while you're at a beach and you watch the sunrise, and then just BAH! He didn't die, but if you're gonna go out, why not? Security video from the inside of the business showed the struggle and captured the moment a company employee emerged from his security office and shot Johnson in the face and neck. Both men bleeding eventually broke off the struggle and fled the building. Wait, what? Jesus Christ, they shot this man in the face and the neck and he survived? God damn, son. Is this nigga Wolverine? He's clearly not that woman in Minneapolis. Melbourne police later recovered one of Johnson's shoes at a nearby relative's home. DNA testing revealed that the blood on the shoe was his. Investigators said the shooting stemmed from a dispute over a bad debt. What did I fucking say? They screwed him over out of his taxes. They screwed this man out of his fucking taxes, and they gave him food poisoning. That's not kosher. That's not kosher. That's very fucking dill. That's what the dill is. None of this was kosher, and that's what the dill is. I'm going to use that joke so many times in the future, so I hope all of you are fucking ready to hear that joke at least 1,000 more times. And I do want to touch on that one situation real quick, because that was fucking hilarious. Not this part. I want to touch on the fucking, that shooting that happened. Where the fuck did it go? God damn it. In more recent things, have you heard all the rockets going off and the fact that they dump 500,000 gallons of water into the fucking lagoon every single time? Polluting our waterways, destroying the ecosystem. But great, we get to see rockets go up into space. Isn't that so much fun? Isn't that so much fun? I don't know. It's, what a wonderful world we live in. Where they send up rockets, but they destroy our fucking rivers. You know we can't swim. There's been multiple times when we couldn't swim in it, not just because of bacteria, but because of the actual pollution in it. So if you went in there and you had, like, say, an open cut or something, you would have to be worried about the fact that you could get something in your fucking system. It's beautiful. Cocoa police detectives bust 2 teens according to multiple armed robberies linked to Facebook Marketplace. This is what I was saying. Under the pretense of buying an iPhone, this was in Cocoa, by the way. This was just up the road from Titusville. This is in between Titusville and fucking Melbourne. So for all you people who are doing local Facebook Marketplace meetups, be fucking aware, because you only need to, I don't even know how old you need to be on Facebook Marketplace. And there are stories on stories of robberies happening, not just on there, but especially here in Brevard. And clearly Wayne Ivey is doing fantastic at stopping all of it. It took them this many tries to get him. Further investigation revealed video evidence capturing the suspects committing a 4th robbery during which the victim was threatened. Yeah, they did multiple robberies in a day. And the funniest part about all of this is that it was at the exact same location. It was at the same fucking location off of, I think it was Jenkins. Is that what they said the street was? Yeah, Barbara Jenkins Street, 439 Barbara Jenkins. What the fuck, man? You know what? This is what I mean about that one guy. Thank God Johnson actually, is that what his name was? I think it was Johnson. Thank fucking God he got the person he was going for, at least slightly, because these fucking kids are retarded, man. These fucking kids are retarded. They are shooting and getting shot and have zero fucking idea how to follow through. They have zero fucking commitment nowadays. God damn it, man. When were the good old days when people would commit to their fucking murders? Where are the good old days when cannibals would commit to eating fucking children and not looking back at it or even apologizing? Where is all this? What is all this shit going on? Salt of the earth. Salt of the earth. You know, I think that Titusville and Brevard itself are a great representation of the world, but I think at this point we just need to look at the rest of Florida for at least a moment. I mean, the rest of the state has been having its own kind of fun. Man arrested after trying to drown woman in random attack on Florida beach, sheriff. Well, you know what? Sometimes, instead of smacking a hoe, you gotta drown a bitch. Sometimes you don't want to have to take them on a boat like that one dude did with his father before you throw him overboard. Some people don't want to have to take their partner on a cruise. Some people don't want, I mean, that's an expensive cruise. There was one, I think it was last year, where the dude came back and his wife was just not on the cruise anymore. And he's like, I don't fucking know. She just went missing while I was on the cruise. What are you going to do? Sometimes your wife goes missing on cruises to Mexico. Not saying anything against Mexicans. Just, you know, happens to be the country with, I think, the highest rate of kidnapping, or at least in the top 5. I know we're working our way up there right now. I just saw a video of some dude kidnapping a toddler on the way into Walmart. Walmart! The Kingley store. The incident happened around 11 p.m. Thursday as the woman was walking out here. Hold on. as the woman was walking along Tiger Shore in Stewart, Martin County. A man who tried to drown a woman at a Florida beach before leaving her for dead in an apparent random attack is facing attempted murder charges, authorities said. Well, good on him. If anything that I've learned about our police is that his charges are going to be dropped from attempted murder to assault. His charges are going to be dropped, and he is going to do little more than probation. The incident happened around 11 p.m. Thursday as the woman was walking along Tiger Shores Beach in Stewart, Martin County Sheriff's officials said. I have never been to that beach. It sounds lovely. Other than the, attempted murders that are happening there. Sounds like quite a lovely place. Beautiful place. Beautiful beach. Fucking who doesn't love tigers? Beautiful animals. Beautiful beach. The victim told authorities she was on the phone with a relative when the attacker came up from behind and struck her, then pushed her in the water and tried to drown her. You know what? Maybe this dude was an orphan. And hear me out now. He got sick and tired of hearing about her family fucking drama. He's been walking behind her for 10 minutes. They're on their way to the same restaurant. But he doesn't want to walk faster. He's got a hurt ankle and maybe a little bit of the arthritis in that ankle that's hurting. And she just keeps yammering on. And he asked her to lower the conversation a little bit, maybe take it off speakerphone because he's tired of hearing her talk with her Aunt Gladys about everything that's been going on lately in her life. I'd get sick and tired of it too and try to drown a bitch. Are you kidding me? Just fucking end that shit. End it. End it, baby. End game. But end the bitch's game. You know what I'm saying? And who's she gonna blame? She's dead at that point. She's probably not dead. It was attempted murder, but God. You hear crying babies on a plane, you hear people on the phone on the bus, and you want to kill them. Imagine walking behind them for 10 minutes on the way to your favorite restaurant and they won't stop talking about how Karen just had her new baby and she's the same age as you and you were just so upset about the fact that your boyfriend hasn't proposed to you or even tried to consider having the conversation about a child with you yet, even though you're almost out of your childbearing years. I would drown her too. That's an old spinster at that point. Then he pushed her in the water and tried to drown her. Good. She said she lost consciousness during the violent struggle, leading the suspect to believe she was dead, the sheriff's office said. He then grabbed her phone and threw it in the ocean before walking away. The victim regained consciousness and was not... You didn't dump her in the water face down? Not that would have meant... Before walking away, the victim regained consciousness and was able to walk more than a mile until she found a deputy. Investigators spent 2 days canvassing the area, reviewing camera footage, searching for witnesses, and monitoring the beach for a potential suspect. Man, 2 fucking days. Good on homeboy. He's fucking in hiding. He won't be hiding soon once those school cameras are up. Once those school zone cameras and church zone cameras are up and running 24/7, motherfuckers like this ain't gonna be able to hide worth a dick. They ain't gonna be able to hide worth a dick, baby. Nada. On Sunday night, Port St. Lucie police responded to a call of a suicidal male who claimed he murdered a woman on Martin County Beach. Authorities said, "Aw, don't you feel bad for him? This is like that guy who raped that 15-year-old. Let him be a good dad. Let this man give him another chance. Give him one more chance." The man, 26-year-old Saeed Alexander... Wait, what? Is that really his name? Said S-A-I-D. Wow. The man, 26 years old, Saeed Alexander Hernandez Gonzalez Wall, told officers that he was at the beach and saw the woman alone and made statements indicating she made him angry, so he attacked her and drowned her, the sheriff's office said, because she wouldn't get off the phone with her fucking aunt about Karen. God. Fuck that bitch. You know what? I will contribute. If he's got a bond, I'll contribute to it. And y'all can hold me to that. And if I don't contribute to that, I'll contribute to something. Commissary. A lawyer. Commissary. He's likely going to need commissary. He said he stopped when he believed she was dead, then went to his vehicle, smoked marijuana, drank vodka, and left the scene, sheriff's officer said. Oh my fucking God, bro. You know what? Maybe if you were drinking gin, you wouldn't have felt so fucking guilty about the measure. You know, I hear there was an English guy. I can't remember who the fuck it was, But he was going out of his way to participate in some stuff on an island, may have accidentally killed a few women, may have gone out of his way to cover up the bodies, and maybe even fucked the bodies when they were dead or alive, whatever the case is. I don't know. I can't remember who the fuck I'm thinking of, but I normally come around to it, and so I think you guys will have to forgive me and bear with me until I can think of it. I don't know. I think it was somebody from England, though, and that's why I got all the gin. I love the people from England. Boris, the dead queen. I love Christian Bale. He's actually one of my top 10, maybe 15 actors of all time. 15, 10, whatever. Actors of all time. Who's another British person I like? She's of age now, so I can say I like Millie Bobby Brown. You know, Drake, that's all you had to do was wait a few years. See this? She's 21 now. She's had a kid. She's married. I can say this, and it's not creepy. We're both in our 20s. You, my nigga, are in your 40s. You were in your late 30s messaging this teen. Who do you think you are? Michael Jackson messaging kids? What is this? You think you are? I know you think you're Michael Jackson. I know for a fact this nigga thinks he's Michael Jackson because of the shit he's got going on. But let me tell you what, Mr. Ultimate Sellout. I waited till she was of the ripe, consensual age of 21 before I said anything nice about Millie Bobby Brown. I won't even watch kids shows. I didn't even watch Stranger Things until I was forced, until the cast was of age. Because I wanted to know that at the end, I was going to be looking at adults and not just being like Drake and thinking weird things about teenagers. Or like this guy earlier in the article who got a 15-year-old pregnant. I don't understand, man. She said she was 18. Did you ask for an ID? No. Did you ask anything else other than her age? No. Oh, well. What are you going to do? Am I right? Am I right? Maybe if he would have drank a little bit of gin, though. Maybe if this young man, Mr. Gonzalez, had said to himself, I'm going to drink gin tonight, and I'm going to smoke dabs instead of smoking flower. It's all in your decisions, you know what I mean? You can have beer and fried wings, or you can have liquor and a salad. Or you can have gin and beans and toast. Gin and beans and toast, baby. This is the breakfast of champions. This is what your day was meant. This is what your day was meant to start with. Your day was meant to sip on gin. We have Tanqueray gin here, and we have Broker's gin over there. I'm not going to break out the Tanqueray because it's hosting the Free Lane hat. Free Lane Maxwell. Free Lane. Donny, write her that pardon. Write her that pardon. Do something, good sir. Bring in my boy Andy from across the pond. I hear he's a good Brit. He might be able to vouch for her. Good old Ghislaine and Andy, good at work again. You know what I mean? Business partners through and through. Chums till the end. They're chums, so there's no need to look glum. And now we sip on gin instead of rum. To Andy! Every time. Whew, excuse me. It has great flavor. I do want to say that. It's not terrible. And if you have to do shots of something that's clear, I almost think I prefer this over the vodka because it's just isopropyl. You're drinking a diluted isopropyl. They poured it in a Brita filter. This actually tastes like they put it in a tea filter. They took that same liquor and put it into a teapot. That's what gin is. When asked if he was remorseful, Hernandez Gonzalez said he felt nothing. Wait, then why did you turn yourself in? Because you said you felt guilty. Hold on. Stopped. Wait, I don't even understand this. That doesn't make sense. Suicidal male who claimed he felt so bad that he wanted to kill himself, but when he was deposed, he said he didn't feel anything? All I gotta say is these are two very conflicting statements Wesh 6. Is that Wesh? I think that's Wesh 6 News, whatever it is. The sheriff office said Hernandez Gonzalez is an illegal immigrant from Venezuela and has an ICE detainer. No fucking bullshit. They're going to use this shit to bring ICE down here. They're about to line up like 10 different crimes, and I'm going to predict this now. This is going to be one of them. They're going to line up like 10 different big crimes littered across the state. Not going to be anywhere particular. It's going to be a couple random places in Orlando, roundabouts of it, in Miami, roundabouts, Tampa, the same. Maybe even over here. Like on the East Coast. And what they're going to do is they're going to have, or in Tallahassee or whatever, and they're going to have these like concentrated terrorist events. And then all of a sudden, everyone's going to be looking at everything going on in the news and going, what the fuck? There's illegal Venezuelans here. There's Cubans here that are blowing things up, that are shooting people, that are raping women, that are me. And this is what they do. And there are some things that happen. I'm not going to sit there and knock it. There are some immigrants that do come over and do this shit. I'm not going to pretend like the raping rate has not increased in fucking France and stuff like that. But what I am going to say is it's not all of them, and they're going to use this to make a generalized statement against all immigrants and all immigration and everything like that. And Florida has already dealt with Operation, what do they call it, Tidal Wave, where they got 10,000 immigrants in the last 365, and they're going to do another one, I guarantee it, and they're going to call it Operation Tsunami or something like that, where they're going to go for 20, 30,000 immigrants, and they're not going to stop until they've started trying to deport Native Americans, Florida Seminoles specifically. And either something is going to happen with that, because I know my fucking tribal members, and they're going to pick a fucking hissy fit if they can get their heads out of their asses for 10 minutes and not be such proud motherfuckers. I think that things are going to go sideways here in a little bit. These are just my humble predictions. I don't know shit, though. I am but a man. I'm just a guy living in You know what's also funny? We had another fucking attempted murder here in Florida. It was just up in Daytona. This guy came across a teenager, a random ass fucking teenager, and just fucking slit his throat and just walked away. Just like it was a fucking, what? Like it was Sweeney Todd at the end. For any of you who haven't seen Sweeney Todd, spoilers! At the very fucking end of have you seen it? Before I tell cast and crew, have you seen it? Yeah, cool. The young lad at the end of the film just walks up to Sweeney, Johnny's character, and he just goes, right across his fucking throat. And it's beautiful irony because he's been doing that to people the entire fucking time. He's been doing it across London. He's been fucking slitting people's throats and putting it in the food. You know, meat pies are nothing like beans and toast. But when you make them with human flesh, they're fan-fucking-tastic. It opens up a whole new world. Jerky, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love the jerky. It's actually really good. Definitely do it when your toast is a bit firmer. Do it quick. Because if you let it sit, it's gonna get mushy. This is good. Probably still gonna eat it. But just fair warning for any of you at home who want to try this. It is good. Bush's baked beans. I don't know what flavor. What flavor was this? Bourbon brown sugar. This is good shit. Definitely good shit. If you like onions, onion flavor is also good. I don't know how good that is for breakfast, but whatever. Man charged for slashing teen's throat in Daytona Beach, accused of sledgehammer attack hours earlier. Hell yeah. Florida, baby, we don't play about our crime. We love it. Love it. Daytona Beach, Florida. The man accused of slashing teen's throat in Daytona Beach is also facing charges for separate attack that Daytona Beach, Florida. The man accused of slashing a teen's throat in Daytona Beach is also facing charges for a separate attack that occurred just hours earlier. You know what? Rampages, baby. I respect it. Jermaine Long, the police said, slashed a 13-year-old's throat in Daytona Beach and had a run-in with the law enforcement earlier that day. You know what? Good on him. Hell yeah, fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. It happened at a 7-Eleven off of South Atlantic. According to the booking records, he was not arrested at the time, but this week police charged him after... He wasn't charged after doing any attack with a sledgehammer, but he was charged after slashing a 13-year-old's throat. What is the difference? Is there any difference between vandalizing your community with a sledgehammer and cutting a 13-year-old's throat? Maybe this man was just trying to supply some people with jerky, you know what I mean? Like, for those of you who don't know what I'm drinking this week, it is Zephyr Hills. When it's not Evian, it's Florida spring water, baby. Zephyr Hills. I'm not getting paid to do this yet. I would love to get paid to do this one day. Evian, Zephyr Hills, Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, Andy, somebody sponsor me. My own tribe, Seminole tribe, sponsor me. Somebody sponsor me, man. I need a studio. Because this is not cutting it. I should be able to enjoy my beans and toast when it's fresh and not have to set up the beans and toast and set up the stew. Somebody sponsor me. The teenager needed 13 stitches at 13 years old after the attack. However, the doctor explained that if the wound had been even 1 millimeter deeper, the consequences would have been far more serious. Yeah, you would have had to go and just get a new kid, whatever. It was also discovered that Long is a registered sex offender with a criminal history involving drugs and battery. Of course he's a fucking... You know what it was? This kid rejected him. He didn't want to give up the booty, and so he slashed his throat. And I'm going to be 100% honest. Maybe that's what happened in the last article as well. Mr. Gonzalez got tired of her not wanting to put out, and so he's just like, fuck it! There was somebody in England who did something similar like that. I can't remember who the fuck it was. I saw a photo of him, crouched over her body, and this woman looked like she was dead. Can't remember what the photo was, though. Whatever. Long is being held at Volusia County Branch Jail without bond. He has entered not guilty plea in both cases. You know what? Good on him. Why would you plead guilty to that? Fuck that kid. I think he got what he deserved. What are you gonna do? Fucking cry about it? You gonna fucking whine about it? You gonna sit there and bitch about it? Fucking hoe. Take that 13 stitches like a man. Or like a... You're 13 years old. You're practically a man. Come on now. Don't you get your bar mitzvah? I don't know if the kid was Jewish, but isn't that like consent age for them? That's probably why Epstein and them got confused. Cultural differences, man. You can murder another adult or rape another adult over here. It's just you can't do it to a kid. But 13! That sweet spot. See, I mean, you can get away with doing a lot more to adults. Like, that woman, Savannah, what is her name? Savannah Guthrie? Her mother's been kidnapped for what looks like a couple weeks now. I don't understand why this is breaking news. I'm pretty sure this woman had something to do with pushing for the Epstein files to be released and all this other stuff, and I don't know. I just think her mother's hot. I get it. If you're trying to bag an old lady, bag an old lady, you know, she's not the worst to go for, and I guess it's not the worst time to do so. I mean, it's probably better that we take our eyes away from all the kid rape and kidnapping and kid kidnapping and kid eating and kid eating and all this other stuff and kid raping, and actually look at some of the things that occur outside of this in the United States, like elderly people being kidnapped and potentially molested. You know that elderly people here in the U.S. contract the highest rate of STDs? Elderly people in nursing homes have the highest STD rate anyone in the U.S., next to Vietnamese hookers. It's just not, why go for her? I saw they raised her bond to $200,000. I don't know the details, and the problem is nobody has any details, and I think that's why the bond just keeps getting raised. Things keep going crazier and crazier and crazier. It's looking like this woman may be disappearing for a little while. They may send back a finger or something. They sent a ransom video, but they're not like taking any of the offers. It was originally $100,000, and somebody anonymously donated $100,000 to the fucking fund for her reward money, whatever you want to call it. It is interesting to me to see that the nation currently is so split over so many different things that nobody has any, like, we have maybe a few million people. I'm going to say this truly at most. We have maybe a few million people that are focused on the Epstein files heavy and making sure it comes out unredacted and that everybody knows who the. You know what? The funniest thing is also is that the DOJ and everything keeps saying we don't want to victimize these women. Yeah, but the thing is all of the victims say that they want that stuff to come out. They know that they were kids when they were trafficked, and they still want the info to come out because they want everything to be understood with how fucking deep it goes. But they're not wanting to push this out because they're like, do you want to see kitty porn? Do you want to see kitty porn? Nobody wants to see fucking kitty porn, but sometimes maybe we have to understand what the kitty porn was happening of, Mr. fucking DOJ, in order to understand what was occurring behind closed doors and how deep it affects these people. Because this is a woman who apparently has ties to the Epstein files and what has been released and all that stuff. And this is allegedly why her mother was kidnapped. I saw the fucking video. Dude came in fully decked out, ski mask, gloves, everything. This was professional shit. With a ring there, this was as professional as it gets. All you got to identify by is eyes and teeth. And the only thing identifying by that right now is like hyper-developed AI systems that they're trying to use for China's fucking social credit system that they're going to eventually implement here in the next 15 years. It's just interesting, the timing of it all, with the files being released, so much being redacted and then being pulled back and then being re-released, and then so much being pulled back and not being re-released. Thousands of files every week at this rate are being pulled, and you can see it when you search certain things. They don't come up, and they've even tried to normalize it. What is her name? Fucking Whoopi Goldberg was on the Good Morning or the whatever her show is, that fucking fat faggot cow bitch. She was on the fucking her show and she posted the article. She's like, hey guys, just for transparency's sake, this is me in the Epstein files. It's one, you're never escaping it. You can't escape Trump. You can't escape the Epstein files. You can't escape Savannah Guthrie's mother being kidnapped. You can't escape fucking being molested by a 30-year-old guy in Brevard and wind up bearing his child. You can't escape this stuff because it is just so fucking constantly down your throat. You feel like a cheap hooker. I don't know how else to explain. We have had so much shit rammed down our throat, I truly feel like a professional porn hooker. Like, just no gag reflex, uvula removed, a whole 9 yards is what we've been getting for all of this stuff. And I think that's the wildest part, because it's going to continue to get worse and worse, and these people are going to start throwing other people under the bus. And the thing is right now we don't have what other countries have, which is clear political assassinations, but that is coming. We've had small arrests. We've had buyouts behind closed doors, as you can see in Mamdami's entire turn towards whatever he has going on right now, raising property taxes and all those things in his state because he's trying to fund all of these new bills he has for the people in the state. It is... There's too much going on at once for most people to be able to keep up with. And I don't even know what the fuck, who this woman is or what's been going on. And I've seen it for weeks now. I've literally reiterated to you guys so much fucking info and all of these different things. Read emails to you, news articles of everything that just goes on, even in my hometown. And there's several articles a week of this, even if it's not my hometown, my home state, local, very local. And this, we're supposed to keep up with all of these different things. I don't know who the fuck this bitch is. I don't know who the fuck she is or why she's got a $2,000 ransom. And the great words of Chris Tucker, fuck it, $500,000, who you think you got? Wait, hold on. $500,000, who you think you got? Chelsea Clinton? That's a Rush Hour reference for none of you faggots at home who fucking know what I'm fucking talking about. Fucking bitch ass niggas of nowadays do not know Rush Hour references. 1 through 3, me and my brother can quote all that shit. But you know what? That's not the point. The point is, what we're seeing is a complete overhaul of transparency. And what I mean by that is it's going from non-transparency to over-transparency, to no transparency to over-transparency, to no to over, to no to over. And when you constantly are flooding waves of there is no belief system anybody has about anything anymore. That's the craziest thing that I've noticed is like people I've seen are they're just so they don't know, no one knows what to believe or who to make the enemy, so they're just doubling down and posturing in what they have now. People on the left say, well, it's the MAGA people. Didn't you see Trump was mentioned in there so many times? And this is not me defending Trump. This is me understanding that there is left, right, and everything fucking in between. And there is a lot more than just Trump. And I promise you, there are a lot worse things than just Trump that are in the fucking Epstein files. The fact that it involves sultans of other countries, it involves prime ministers of other countries, it involves royalty of other countries, it involves presidents that date back over 2 to 3 decades into our country, and you guys are focused on this one thing. I agree, it is extremely important that we focus on this one thing, especially with him. He needs to be held accountable, as they all do, but don't let this leave you short-sighted of the fact that Elon, Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, Donnie, fucking RFK, one of my heroes, fucking Ellen, like all of these people, Jay-Z, Robert De Niro, fucking Ehud Barak, everybody is mentioned in these fucking documents. Everybody, Jeff Bezos, almost everybody that has major stock and influence in your life on a regular basis, at least to some degree, is in these files. But whatever. Let's just keep kidnapping people. Let's just keep fucking kidnapping people. Hey, whatever. I don't know. There was somebody else who was arrested for all of these fucking files the other day. I think they were arrested for the files. I can't really tell what anyone's getting charged with anymore because Ghislaine's fucking charges are about to be null and void if Donnie gives her that fucking pardon. And what is anyone getting charged with anymore? No one's getting charged with anything anymore. We're getting charged with shit nowadays, but they're not getting charged with shit nowadays. They never got charged with shit. Back then, now, no one's ever getting charged with shit. Whatever. But the reason we did this whole fuck it. Here, hold on. The reason we did this whole fucking episode was so that way we could address things that are going on across the pond. Things that are going on across the pond. Do you know what I am referring to? No, of course you fucking half-wits and twats do not understand what the fuck I am referring to. We have had so many things occurring over the last few weeks. Epstein files, kidnappings, murders, kidnappings. All of everybody's favorite crimes. But alas, who truly is the victims in all of these things? Because when you think about it, all these are is gross accusations until someone is able to prove otherwise. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Tell me, Cast, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. They won't even correct me even if I did give them a moment to speak. Because this is the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is we are supposed to love and respect our allies no matter what we have going on. We are supposed to adopt and adorn some of their entrappings for the sake of beauty, for the sake of love, for the sake of the heights we are willing to go to. I must say that we have done fantastic at going out of our way as Americans, as internationalists, as people, to make others not just feel included, but to give them the benefit of the doubt and to bear witness to what unfolds for them. Andrew released under investigation after... Oh, Jesus Christ. It was a fucking good idea at first. You can only do so much. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oi, motherfucker! Christ, the gin's coming up. Andrew released under investigation after arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This is who was arrested the other day. Good former Prince Andrew. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, as he is now referred to, no longer the Duke of York, as they have stripped him of his titles.
as one does when you are caught in investigations pertaining to child pornography and murders. I know you know what I'm talking about, good Andrew. Good Andy, my good fellow, my good Sir Andy. We be cheeky here. This is why we tap the cheeks, good sir. He understands what I'm saying. If he witnessed this, he would laugh. Believe you me. These jokes are not too far for the posh to understand. Especially with an accent as eloquent as this one. What would you understand, you simpletons of the US? What would any of you fucking cretins here know of regalness and royalty? Truly, that went Irish. No, but they arrested him literally just this fucking morning. I swear to God. That is why this whole episode, this episode was not going to be entirely this. We were going to do the Wuthering Heights stuff and all that other shit, but this was not this until this very morning when I woke up and looked at the news and saw the good former Prince Andy was arrested. But you know what? They didn't even arrest him for fucking anything to do with the Epstein mentions. They didn't arrest him for anything to do with murder, sex trafficking. They didn't arrest him for anything to do with pedophilia, child pornography, nothing. They arrested him for misusing his position as a fucking prince in order to, I don't know, help other countries with whatever they have going on. Basically, they're going to give him a treason charge and probably 10 years in fucking royal jail or whatever. Or they're going to throw him completely under the bus, and Ghislaine, Donnie, and everybody else is going to be like, yeah, it was fucking Epstein and Andy. They were just fucking doing their thing. Ghislaine's going to be like, yes, love, it was Andy and Jeff. They were... Oh, they had such sick fetishes. But, that allegedly is what they say. I don't know of any sick fetishes, as I, Ghislaine Maxwell, was not there to bear witness to anything that was illegal or immoral, or even of underage potential. I am a lady, a socialite, a beauty. Back in her day, she was hot. I am Mama G. No, and they arrested him for literally what I just read it. Suspicion of misconduct in the public office. Andrew looked dazed and shell-shocked. Yeah, I imagine so, because he went into hiding immediately the second all of these fucking Epstein files dropped. There's been a lot of resignations. There was a sultan who we're going to maybe get to in next episode who resigned. There was files dropped about 9/11 we're likely going to get to next episode, believe you fucking me. There were mentions of... There was so much that has come out in these files that just even what I've read to you is not even a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of a fraction of what there is. 3.5 million files, and you guys have maybe got 30 emails out of me. 30 or 40. That's the craziest. That's all we've been able to cover because of this. Because of how extensive and how deep this runs. We've only been able to cover a short portion of it. And that is just phenomenal. Because it lets me know that people have the time to go out of the way to embrace their passions. And I think that's what all of this shows, is that these people can do anything they want and they choose to fuck children and eat them. That's art. I can't remember who I saw. He was on a podcast once and he was talking about transgenders. He said, man, I used to judge the transgenders, but after thinking about it, I've come to respect it because it taught me one valuable lesson. You could have been anything you wanted to be in this world, and you chose to be that. You didn't choose to be president, you didn't choose to be a king, a sultan, a child trafficker, you didn't choose to be a murderer, you didn't choose to be a rapist, you didn't choose to be a banker, you didn't choose to be a priest, you didn't choose to be a kitty diddler. You chose to change genders. I respect the shit out of that. I don't really respect the shit. I respect those who fully commit. I do want to say that before anybody gives me any shit. He supports or he doesn't support gay, transgender, me. I don't really give two shits about what you do in your personal life. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'll be 100% honest. I don't give two shits what you do with your life. Live it. Don't force it on me. Live it. That's your love. That's your life. That's your duty. You live, love, laugh that life. I
do not want to sleep with a transgender at any given point in my life. So if that makes me a homophobe, then cool. To the rest of you, I'm a homophobe. But otherwise, I think y'all are people, sort of. We're going to get into the whole transgender thing at some point because it does involve Epstein and it involves a lot of weird shit that you motherfuckers probably aren't even ready to touch on, like little kids. Come on now. You know what? Just in honor of my boy Prince Andrew getting out of fucking jail after 12 hours, less than 12 hours. My boy Andy is out after 12 hours. And in honor of the trannies being whatever they want to be when they grow up and choosing to be something that God didn't make them. That's beautiful. I think that's what life is all about sometimes, is spitting in the face of our good Lord and Savior and saying, I don't want my dick. I don't want my puss. I want something else. I wish it had a bush. Because they need hormones for the hair and stuff. Their hormones are all out of whack. If you haven't noticed, if you ever looked into it, they're weird. There's some creeps. There's some weirdos. What the hell are they doing here? They don't belong here. They don't belong here. In honor of Andy and the trannies. Trandy. In honor of the trandies. We sip to you some solid gin. Oi. Good Lord in heaven. Good heaven and Lord. Heaven, Christ, mighty Lord, heaven, mighty heaven, and Lord and mighty heaven. It's very floral. Good heaven, Lord, beef, oh, patty, oh, grady, oh, mighty, oh, word. What the actual fuck? Holy shit, fuck, shit, bitch, puss, fuck, shit. Ah! I tried holding back and not cussing, but holy fuck, man. After a few of them, ooh, baby, no amount of beans and toast is helping me get through this at the end of the day. Maybe I need fish and chips. I think that's fucking crazy. My boy Andy was out almost immediately, by the way, because the crown cannot have scandal falling on their head in such a manner. Of course, whatever his name, King, who the fuck is in charge of England right now? I don't even know. Is the current reigning monarch of England =. King Charles III? Oh. Is that who it is? Is that who we got? Excuse me. Oh yeah. King Charles III said that our boy Andy was going to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Yeah, they brought him in just this morning on what is it? Like, it's going to be criminal conspiracy for a politician. It's not even going to be a fucking the pedophile stuff. It's not going to be the murders. I've said this before, but it's just punished to the fullest extent of the law. He's already out. He already is out. He fled and was hiding in the palace away from extradition of the U.S. And they removed him of his title of prince, by the way. He's no longer Prince Andrew. He is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. That's why I brought that up, because no longer Prince Andy. He is disgraced. Our boy Drew. I really fucking hate that name, Drew. I hate that name so fucking much. I hate the name Andrew. What a fucking... I don't like the name Drew specifically. What a fucking cocksucker. We're going with Andy because I like that name much nicer, much better, much gooder, much fairer than them all. Let's read some of these emails involving him. That's the most exciting part of all of this, because at the end of the day, my boy Andy could have been anything in this world. He could have fought his way up and been some fucking oil or shipping magnate. He could have been somebody that went and stole art from other countries and put it in the English museums, as they've always done. He could have gone and impregnated 18 different fucking royal women from across the fucking Saharas. But my boy became a pedophile and a murderer. And I respect that. Just like the trannies. Case ID, not going to read that. Details, not going to read that. Threat to life, false. Submitted text, when I was 6 to 8 years old and living at blank, I was drugged at night and driven by my father blank to pedophile ring parties. Well, can we really trust a 6-year-old? Can we trust exactly what this person is saying? Your memory is just the last thing you remembered remembering. Call me a heretic if I'm wrong, but maybe the last thing she remembers remembering was about something that happened that she saw when she was a kid, and then remembering that is forcing her to think that she was raped when she was a kid. All I'm saying. Maybe she's the creep. Maybe she's the weirdo. Maybe she doesn't belong there. I mean, obviously, as a child, you probably don't belong at a pedophile. Well, hold on. If we're talking about who belongs at a pedophile ring party, to make it a pedophile ring party, then yes, you are necessary for the establishment of the pedophile party. But you should not be there because you're a child, and that's bad. This is a conundrum. I don't know. It's either you have the pedophile party or you don't have the pedophile party. It's double down at some point. The main house I was taken to is located behind blank at the end of the private road. Blank is next door. In the driveway of this house, I was hit by a dark blue car with a personalized license plate ending in D0Y, driven by Prince Andrew. He hit a bitch with a car. Prince Andrew hit a bitch with a car when she was 6 to 8 years old. Hell yeah. Fuck them kids to the next level. This nigga is playing GTA 5 with 5-year-olds. That's what the 5 is for. GTA 5-year-olds. Driven by Prince Andrew. I was not taken to a hospital, but I suffered permanent injuries to my ribs, hip, and leg on my right side. The car's hood figurine broke off in my hand on impact, and I later buried it near my home. You didn't return it? He had to get that replaced. Do you realize what an inconvenience you have caused that man? Do you realize the inconvenience you caused that man because you didn't return that figurine for him to put back on the car that he hit you with? Stop being so fucking selfish. God, you were a kid. It was years ago. Why do you even care? What do those bones matter to you? Fucking pussy. Little bitch. So it could still be recoverable as evidence. After I was hit by the car, I woke up to Prince Andrew forcing his mouth on mine and pushing my legs apart. He raped me. He hit you with a car and then he raped you. There was no... What the actual fuck is wrong with you fuckers? What the actual fuck, bro? This is... Holy shit, these people are psychopaths. Holy shit. Oh my Jesus Christ. There was no in between. There was no take you in, recover. It was car, rape. Car, then rape. There was... He didn't even give her time to recover. No Gatorade, no fucking washcloth, no fan, no bench to sit on the side, no ice pack, no fucking tampon for the nose in case she had a nosebleed, just right to the rape. A man of business. Efficiency. Jesus Christ. These probably, wow. It's just, was the car okay? Did he get it repaired? Did insurance cover it? That's probably why he didn't worry about the hood ornament at first. Insurance was going to cover it no matter what. Wait, do you go to insurance if you hit 6-year-olds? Does Allstate cover hitting 6-year-olds on pedophile property? Something tells me they don't, but maybe. Maybe if you got a guy who's got a guy who's got a little girl who's got a guy, maybe you might be able to make it work. Maybe. In that house, I was also sexually tortured with household tools and penetrated with a beer bottle. You're not even legally able to drink. That's disgusting. I have medical records of the resulting infection. Probably east. I once ran away from the house naked and made it to the blank community down the road. GPS blank. I remember seeing and speaking to a man, so I think that there may be blank living in the area who could corroborate what goes on there. I was also taken to another house that I later recognized as blank blank. There I was restrained on a table and tortured with electrical shocks by Ghislaine Maxwell and surrounded by watching men. You know, Lady G, you're not making my Free You hat look any nicer right now. I'm trying to be on your side. One, how do I relate to any of these people? One person who talks to another person who talks. One human to... I can't even verify that you're human. I can't even verify what you are. I'm going to be 100% honest. Show me the pussy. Unredacted files. There's coochie in there. I saw the ones where they redacted it where she was in a robe. Show me the Ghislaine gooch. The GG. The GGB. The Ghislaine Gooch and Beaver. Oh my God, man. Electrical shocks. Jesus. Goodness. Who does this woman think she is? A friend of Shazam? I remember seeing Prince Andrew's face. Never mind. After being raped by another man there, I tried to sneak out. Maxwell caught me and beat me with a bristle end of a broom. This isn't funny. None of this is funny. This is how I cope with life, by the way. So don't none of you think I actually think this is funny. This is horrible fucking stuff. But to be fair, it's not real to me right now. Just like it's not technically real to you at this very second. It could be very real for you one day, but it is not right this second. So we laugh. We laugh when it's real for us. We laugh when it's not real for us. It makes life easier to deal with. That's the whole point of this fucking endeavor. She beat her back like a fucking house cat. She beat her back like I beat back my cats with a fucking broom when they try to go out. You're like swatting at them to run back inside because they're trying to fucking go off into the neighbors. It's just... I don't think this is funny. I don't think this is funny because of what happened. I think this is funny because... You're like trying to run away. You're this little kid and you're just trying to run away. And all of a sudden you're like, back, you little bitch. And she's hitting you with a fucking dirty broom that she probably just used to clean up glass from another murder or something. I don't think that's funny, but it's, man, oh man, these people are fucking crazy. Beat her with a broom. She penetrated my vagina with the handle of the broom. Oh. This broom was multi-use. That's a multi-tool. She also threatened me saying that I deserved to die and hit me in the face with the broom, breaking my nose. Shouldn't have been goyim. Well, I guess girl-yim. I was only taken to the hospital for the broken nose after a rugby match so that the injury could be blamed on that. Not ideal. Not ideal, Mr. Andrew. From G. Maxwell to Jeffrey, I have distanced myself from you. I have to distance myself from you in statement 2, and they need me to say I was not aware of massage with Andrew in my house. These things have to stay along with meeting and rebutting those allegations. I need it ASAP. I don't know. It's just crazy. Crazy. I am departing Scotland. Should be down by 1800. I'll ring you when I get down if you can give me a number to ring. Alternatively, we could get dinner at Buckingham Palace. Hold on. I read this in the wrong order. Epstein to the Duke. Already in London. What time would you like me and blank? We will also need to have private time. The Duke back. BP, please. BP, please. My BP, please. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read this like that. BP, please. I'm just departing Scotland. Should be down by the 1800. I'll ring you when I get down there if you can give me a number to ring. Alternatively, we could meet at Buckingham Palace. Lots of privacy, you know what I'm saying? Hey. He's got plenty of mousecatools. Just like Ghislaine, who used that double-ended broom. That's a mousecatool that helped him later. God damn it, man. And that mousecatool might be able to help Ghislaine and all of us later. You never know. From blank to Jeffrey Epstein, followed by you have disappeared. I did not know you were having a baby. It was so crystal clear that you were only friends with me to get to Andrew, and that really hurt me deeply, more than you will know. He used a woman to get to Andrew, and that hurt her. Jeffy, come on. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. You know you gotta do right. Hit her with the mousecatool and set her right. Give it to her all day and night. Beat the pussy up like fight night. Don't know if you're still on this BBM, but I heard from the Duke that you're having a baby boy. Even though you have never kept in touch, I am still here with love, friendship, and congratulations on your boy, Sarah. Man, I've read a lot of emails, and these women seem to be fawning over Jeffrey Epstein. I don't actually understand it. What about him was so enticing that these women... He wasn't an ugly guy, so I get it, but he had an egg-shaped penis. What is that gonna do? Is he gonna, like, scramble that pussy? Is he gonna turn it sunny side up? Is he gonna bend them over easy? Come on now. Jeffrey Eggstein. Jeffrey Eggstein with the eggplant Maybe when they say egg, they meant eggplant. Maybe Jeffrey with the giant dong. Jeffrey Giant Dong. JJD. JGD. Hold on. Jeffrey Giant Genitals. JGG. GGG. I assume he knows this is... Hold on. Lots of TV coverage on PA and always big feature of you. Insane. I assume he knows this is Charles doing. What's funny is that King Charles is involved with this shit too, but there are so many names that were released. There were about 250 names that I was able to estimate that were released, just that they were giving us so far. Not entirely, not any whatever. They didn't give us all of the victims' names. They didn't give us this, that, or the other. They gave us all of the people that were just talked to or about in what we've got so far of the 80% of the redacted files. Let me try and read this in order. Back in the 90s, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited a girl from a modeling career. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a sex slave or a slave for sex and torture. Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and me to... Hold on. I want this to be a highlight for today for y'all. Back in the 90s, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited a girl for a modeling career. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and me to force her murder. Did he force another little girl to murder another little girl, or did he just torture them both until one died and that was just it? I need to get a passport to identify her. I will need to... Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care about your passport. I don't care where you can go. He's got hoes in different area codes. Hoes in different area codes. That's Nate Dogg, baby. Well, technically, that's Ludacris featuring Nate Dogg, Area Codes. That was word of mouth, I believe. Was word of mouth late 90s, early 2000s? No, whatever. Here, hold on. What am I asking you for? I got fucking Joogle right in front of me. Swag. 2001, early 2001. Hell yeah, baby. When did 9/11 happen? Hell yeah, baby, 2001. I know it happened in 2000. That was the joke. Motherfucker. Don't you sit here and question me. I know when 9/11 happens. Twice a day, every day.
I actually thought you might have been retarded there for a second.
It happens. But you know what? Better to look retarded for a second than to be retarded for life. You know what I mean? And you know what? in honor of retardation, in honor of my boy Andy, in honor of the crown, in honor of everything that's been going on with the UK and England, we salute you with a shot of gin. Oh, believe me, guys, this. I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of torture, but it's fun torture. It feels fantastic. It's erotic. It's sexpotic. It's Wuthering Heightsotic. You'll get that joke here in a moment. I'm not even going to make jokes about this. This is the thing. The best part about this movie, I don't need to make any jokes. Everything I could say, everything I will say, this is the truth. Unadulterated, unmitigated, unobliviated truth. To the truth and Andy. To trannies, Andy's, the truth, the Wuthering Heights. Hail Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Very floral. That's rough. Oh my God. That's like those dogs Kim put down. Kim Kardashian. That's like the dogs Kim Kardashian put down. Rough. Rough, 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 rough. Oh my goodness. What do you know about rough? What do you know about love? What do you know about anything? What do you know about school zone cameras? What do you know about British fucking watches that actually are really nice? I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of my... When you put it on the fucking steel bracelet, it is one of my favorite dailies. I won't even fucking lie. Because it's just that fucking dome crystal, the fucking... It's smooth. It doesn't have hacking seconds, so for those of you trying to set the time, whenever you pull it, make sure that you understand that it's going to keep moving. So try to pull it 30 seconds so you have enough time to adjust it, set it, and then put the stem in. Side note for you fucking watch nerds. What do you know about watches? What do you know about love? What do you know about England? What do you know about Wuthering Heights? What do you know about softcore porn? That's really what it was. I'm not going to lie to you. There is no part of me that could make this up, that could do anything but tell you the truth. And Wuthering Heights is softcore porn. Wuthering Heights is... Have you guys seen the movie Baby Girl? It's that movie, but for 20 and 30-year-old women. Because Baby Girl was a movie for 40 and 50-year-old women who were either unhappy in their marriage or with their sex life, or women who were just really, really, really fucking kinky and wanted to watch that fucking movie, that were 40, 50, 60 plus, whatever the case fucking may be. And it was starring Nicole Kidman. And the movie was about... I love that I tied this in. This wasn't even the intent. It is about Nicole Kidman, who's a business owner, and she has this fucking 25-year-old intern who comes in for a job at the company, also competing with this young black girl. And it's the funniest thing because throughout the entire film, she's having this weird kinky affair where she's licking milk out of bowls and sucking on his thumb. Was that Wuthering Heights? They were both sucking on thumbs. And it's kind of nice when you get your thumb sucked on. I'm not even going to... Whatever. But the point is, the movie was just horniness. Pure softcore porn. I would say hardcore. What qualifies as hardcore porn in movies is not hardcore porn. It's just actually showing the sex scene occurring, even though there's no insertion. I think if movies were really going to get better, they should include some insertion. Even if it's for a brief second, just show me the insertion, and that would, I guarantee you'd sell so much more. Never let a sex scene of insertion in a film exceed more than 3 seconds, ever. And no more than 6 seconds of insertion or insertion style in films. And that would abstain from pure nudity, and it would allow for the grace of what beauty and sex is supposed to... What was I talking about? Baby Girl. I was talking about Baby Girl. And yeah, it's Nicole Kidman's horny dream where she's fucking cheating on Antonio Banderas, who is a handsome Spanish man. How could you cheat on Antonio Banderas? The father of the Spy Kids. Zorro. The man from Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. God. What a selfish woman. The point is, Wuthering Heights is that for 20-year-old women. Wuthering Heights is that for 20 and 30-year-old women because it's nothing but Margot Robbie walking around in tight shirts going the entire fucking time, just and writhing around in front. And Jacob Elordi is just swinging axes left and right, shirtless with his fucking toothless ass in the beginning. Here, okay, I'll give you the fucking plot. I'll give you the fucking entire story because I am a good man and I do these things for you. Just like Jacob Elordi in Wuthering Heights, or as I guess we should call him, Heathcliff. The beginning of the film starts off, spoilers for all you fucking bitches and motherfucking faggot niggas at home and all this other stuff. Okay, side note for all you guys, this really is a great movie if you want to get your woman in the mood. Watch this movie. This is genuinely, when I tell you it makes you writhe in your seat, not just from uncomfortableness, but from actual horniness. This is a great, this entire 2 hour and 16 minute film is foreplay. I'll be 100% honest with you. This was all foreplay. And it was great. The film starts off with a black screen, and it's kind of like Nosferatu. I think this is like Nosferatu, but non-vampiric. This is literally like non-vampiric Nosferatu because Heathcliff is fucking Orlok if I can tell you anything about anything. This motherfucker is as Orlockian as they fucking get. This nigga is drinking tears. He would drink her blood if he gave her the chance. He is licking the tears off her cheek, the sweat off her thigh, I'm not going to keep going with that. The point is it's a black screen and all you hear is a guy just gasping slightly, slowly, and it picks up and you think that you're like listening to a sex scene, and then it's a guy being hung, and he's also hung. You know what I mean? Like you can see his dick while he's being hung. And there's a nun who's getting off to it. The entire town is watching. There's children present. And that's a very weird fucking prospect because the kids are just watching and they're like, see, I fucking told you that he's going to get a stiffy whenever he fucking gets hung. He's hung when he's hung. And that's the kids. That's not even the adults. The nuns are just sitting there going, oh, me fucking minge. And then that's their measure. And then it skips to like, what's supposed to be, I guess, 20 years later. Let's say 20 years later, because Margot Robbie's supposed to be late 20s, maybe 30 years old. I guess that would make sense for how old she looks. And Heathcliff is about mid-20s, late 20s. Oh, wait, hold on. I skipped over a part. I skipped over a very crucial part. It went from the hanging to Heathcliff actually being one of those adopted, or one of those ragamuffin criminal boys on the side. And you saw young Margot Robbie's character, the kid version of her, who, how do I say this? Her father adopted him to save him from the gallows, and she adopted him as a pet. That is the best way to describe it. That's the only way to describe it, because she owns him. That's her dog. That's her boy. That's her good little boy. That's mommy's good little boy. That's rough, rough, rough. Bark like you want it. Mommy's good little boy. That's what this movie is. That is the plot of this film. I'll give it to you. Rough, rough, rough. Bark like you want it. Mommy's little boy. That's what it should have been called instead of Wuthering Heights, because this was not Wuthering Heights. I don't actually know what this is if not just pure pornography. And I liked it. My girlfriend liked it. Hey, shut the fuck up. You liked it. It was a great it was a great film. It was okay. It is. I was continuing with the plot. Stop interrupting me. It was. She took him in as a pet, and she named him after her dead brother. Her dead brother is named Heathcliff, and she named the adopted boy who became her lover / her pet Heathcliff. What in the incestual fucking love about any of this makes sense? Yeah, it's like, have you seen the two of them off screen too? These two are fucking inseparable. She's compared him to a safety blanket. Like, they even got matching rings and everything. How do you go from being married and being in Frankenstein to having matching rings and making softcore porn? I love it. I love it. I'm not actually trying to shit on it. This is all very real. That's the funniest part. It sounds like I'm making jokes, and to a degree I am. But I like horny movies. I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. I'm not even going to sit here and act like this is some act or whatever the case may be. Wuthering Heights is weathering through my nights. Because I would watch this movie again just like I would watch Nosferatu, just like I would watch Baby Girl, just like I would watch Sausage Party, just like I would watch Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, or Boogie Nights. Do you guys have any clue? Okay, do you know how hard it is to make porn cinema? It's like fit for film? Do you know how hard it is to make cinematography porn? It's an art. You ever watch X? You ever watch Pearl? I referenced that before, but let me tell you what, that is hard shit. That was the whole point of the transition from the 70s and 80s, baby. Porn is not just supposed to be about nudity and about, it's supposed to be goddamn fucking meticulous art. Kubrickian porn. My point is, and then after she adopts him, they have this whole weird ordeal where this new neighbor comes in. He's a fucking, whatever you call it. He's a velvet manufacturer. He's a velvet man. He's a velvet man. And not only is he a velvet man, but he's intrigued by Margot Robbie's character. She goes on this like 15 fucking minute whole thing where she's like, oh, if he doesn't fucking propose to me, I'm just gonna lose my if he doesn't and this was all in front of fucking Heathcliff and her fucking chink maid. By the way, her Asian maid, I'm pretty sure, is either in love with her, she's either jealous of her, or she's jealous of her. There's not really much that's else in between. I just gotta say that it was great. And watching her just throw this in everyone's face and then pretend to be the victim is the best part of it all. Because really at the end of the day, it's you, ma'am, who lives in a fucking mini castle, who is complaining to your servants, who has a fucking side boy, brother, butler, fuck thing that you can have to do whatever you want with as thou'st please, whilst watching the other servants make love in the fucking horse shack using the equipment. By the way, there's an awesome scene where where this couple is tying each other up in the horse stable using the toys. She puts her mouth on the fucking horse bride thing and it's fucking great. And Heathcliff, while she's watching this intense scene, while she's courting the other guy and complaining about him, he jumps on her while she's doing this, and before she can gasp or even make a noise, he puts his hand around her mouth. Then he pulls away, and he's got the fucking biggest chub you can see. He's like, oh, and I'm like, by this point in the movie, and at no point in the movie, do we see any Margot titty, any Elordi dong, we see no Margot pussy, we see no Elordi ass, we see nothing that would make this classified as even a rated R. This is a glorified PG-13 movie, if you ask me. This is a glorified PG-13 movie because nothing here happens but explicitly in sexual innuendos. I think that this movie wasn't hardcore enough. I think truly, I think, and I'm going to be honest here, and very many people may not agree, I think they should have included an actual insertion scene. Or like show us, she was naked in the fucking Wolf of Wall Street fully, but she can't get naked for a movie where she's getting dicked down by Jacob Elordi? Show us the Margot titty and show us the Elordi dong. We as the crowd deserve that. Show us the full frontage Sydney Sweeney titty. And show us Elordi's... Wait, hold on. Who's another young celebrity? Show us the Chalamet... Show us the Chalamet shaft. Show us the Shaftalay. Show us Margot Robbie's titties again, please. Show us Sydney Sweeney's titties in full. Stop playing with us. Show us the Elordi dong. Show us the Chalamet shaft. This is what we crave as U.S. citizens. We want to see insertion. I'll make that movie happen one day. I can promise you. If they don't do it by the time I'm making films, I promise you, when I start making movies, these motherfuckers, they will start including insertion, and it will be tasteful, and it will be beautiful, and it will be Wuthering Heightsful. Where was I even at? Oh yeah, the stable. And then after a little bit, of course, fucking the other guy, the velvet guy proposes to her. They have... she gets sad because she's like, I wanted him to propose to me, and I complained that he didn't propose to me, but now he proposed to me, and all I want is Heathcliff. And then she, like, was talking to her little chink lady. She's a lady, and she's Asian. I can't guarantee what she is, so... Goot companion. This woman was with her, this lady, and she was like, I didn't love Heathcliff so much. And the Asian girl was like, oh yeah, but would you, because she knew Heathcliff was outside, he could only hear so much, and she's like, oh yeah, but would you like to marry this guy? And she's like, well, of course I have to. And I couldn't even think of marrying Heathcliff. It would be below me. It would be below my station. It would lower me as a person. And Heathcliff hears only that part, and then he runs away. And he runs away for years on end. And she goes and marries the new guy, and they're trying for a kid for a while. And then all of a sudden, when she gets pregnant and all of this shit, guess who comes back around? It's Heathcliff. And this man is the biggest thorn in her side, the bane of her existence. And he comes back with a gold tooth where he had a fucking missing tooth, swaggering around, smoking his pipe. This nigga is looking at this bitch. I bet you had an exciting journey.
It was.
Well, are you going to tell us about it? No. And then it just goes on from there. And then after a little bit, they have a full-blown affair. And they sneak around fucking left, right, center, mid, forward, top, back, bottom, upside down, right side, clockwise, counterclockwise, in the fucking chokehold, all that shit. Ming, 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 right in the fucking right in the fucking goddamn carriage. Right in the fucking carriage. And then... after a little bit, she's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant with his kid and I've been having an affair with you for the last 6 months. It's disgusting. And he's like, I'll raise the baby as my own. Fuck that man. Fuck that Indian prick. Fuck his velvet. I'll raise the baby as my own. I'm a lord. You have no clue how I got my money. Okay, this is basically The Great Gatsby. And I'm glad I fucking bring this up. This is The Great Gatsby. And this, I don't know how she got Wuthering Heights out of it, because this is apparently supposed to be an actual love story of classes and class differences and story and tremendous overcomings and all that stuff. And this is the ending. And I'm going to explain that here in a minute. But it's basically Gatsby. He comes back and he's standing at the end of the field and he's like, touch me! And that's really a lot of the plot. But after he gets rejected, he goes and he takes the guy's sister, the guy who is married to Margot Robbie. He takes her sister and he takes her in as a sex slave, and she likes it. He's sitting there fucking like, do you want this? And she's like, yes. I'm gonna abuse you. Do you want this? Yes. I'm gonna nut inside of you and think of another woman and tell you how much I want her while I do it. Are you okay with this? Yes. And then he's got her fucking locked up at the house, just like, oh, you're gonna be nice to me. And she gets kinky and weird, and he locks her up on a chain. And she starts barking like a dog and fucking whimpering and crawling on the floor and licking her lips. And I'm gonna be honest, that is one of the sexiest fucking scenes I've cinema in a long time. You and everyone else can judge, but wow, oh man, oh golly, oh gee, that was a fucking fantastic scene to me. That was better than Nosferatu, because Nosferatu had the possession aspect. This was not possession. The only thing possessing her was the spirit of that man's cock. That should have been what I talked about on Valentine's Day, but you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because That's what I saw on Valentine's Day, actually. That was a great way to start off Valentine's Day. That was the first thing we did that morning. And ooh, baby, it was good. And he's having this woman write letters to Margot Robbie's character, and the Asian girl is hiding it from her, burning the letters, this, that, or the other. Margot loses the baby that she had and gets sepsis and all this other fucking stuff. And at the end of the fucking film, Heathcliff on horseback is riding to her in slow-mo, and she's dying in the bed, and he gets to the house, and the Asian woman's leading the kinky dog girl out by the leash, by the way. And he's walking in, and the Indian dude who was married to Margot's like, you don't want to go in there. I'm telling you, it's just so bad. It's just so, just stop yourself. And then Heathcliff, a.k.a. Lordy, pushes past. He's like, no, let me see my woman. And then he walked in there, and she's just laying dead, pale as fucking paper. And he lays with her after she basically kills herself because she starves herself to death, kills the child, and doesn't seek medical help. Commits suicide, essentially. And he lays there with her till the end of the film. And that's beauty. That's art. That's love. That was one of the greatest softcore pornos I've ever seen. And if Britain is anything like that, if the UK is anything like that, if life is anything like that, if there's one thing I've understood is love is crazy. Love is beans on toast. Love is gin. Love is affairs. Love is love whenever you have it, no matter how it stares. Love is here and love is there. Love for me is love for you, and it's everywhere. And I just gotta say that it was a beautiful film. I definitely recommend, while it's still in theaters, I 110,000% recommend go and see that shit. Because this is gonna be a horny year. Last year was horny, but it was kind of like foreplay. This year is really when you start like twisting the nipples a little bit with a little bit of spit, you know what I'm saying? And you go down and you put your hand just outside the panties. Last year was all makeup, was all makeout. It was all neck kisses. Now we're getting under the bra. We're getting a second base with this year. I promise you. Ooh, babe, this is second base. It was fantastic. And I just... From the UK and from the USA, we have to say that we wish you well on this fine day. In honor of Wuthering Heights, in honor of Margot Robbie, in honor of my boy Andy, free Andy, let Andy be free, free Ghislaine, free Mama G, free Lady G, free Madam G, Ghislaine, you know what I'm saying, nee? In honor of the British socialites. Here, hold on. Let me do this. Hold the last little bit of this. In honor of the British socialites. In honor of Wuthering Heights. In honor of all that we hold dear. In honor of all that we hold near. We wish you a happy Saturday. And we wish you so much good play. Now, be on your way, my fine compadre. Yeah. Terrible teeth. Woo! Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Let me tell you what. It's not just Wuthering Heights. It's weathering through this gin. It's weathering through Andrew's fucking emails. It's weathering through a woman drowned here. It's weathering through life. And no matter what it is, make sure you go and see Wuthering Heights. Y'all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week. Bye, motherfuckers. Bye.